Yes,
So then we don't have to
that would be
think
nice. There's no one doing it, because every now and then I will see something.
Yes. So right now, Norcom, which is now one individual, I think, we just have one individual. So there was two people and now, and then one of them left. So now it's just one guy, and he does the job of many people. What he does, I think, and I think this is all him, is lovely. But he's also running wires and, this is only one small part of his job.
Okay.
Women's History Month, we had the resolution, which was lovely. Alexis has the bins out at City Hall and the rec for donations to be accepted for Lydia's house. Lydia's house is the transitional housing here in Norwood for women. We did this last year. It was really lovely.
What kind of things are they collecting?
A lot of personal care and cleaning stuff. They have a very specific list that is on the website.
Our website or Lydia's house website?
Both. It's on the city's, I don't know if it's on the city's website, but it is on the city's social media, on their Facebook page, that has a link to what they want.
Thank you.
Also, I guess this is just sort of an add-on, just for DEI folks. I received an email from a colleague that I work with who's with the Hamilton County Commission on Women and Girls, and they are doing a big pay equity resolution. Excuse me. So that went through our law committee, and then we presented it at council, and we did sign and pass the resolution affirming our commitment to pay equity for women. And I can send you guys the resolution if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, sure. And that's for city employees?
It's an acknowledgement of the wage discrepancy, and that we make a commitment to pay attention to it, is sort of what we're doing. Because most of our city employees are civil service, we know there's pay equity because it is so very rigid.
Oh, sure.
It's just a very simple formula. So it's not as critical to Norwood as it is sort of making a statement about, we acknowledge that this is an issue and that these are challenges, and that we will continue to pay attention to how it impacts our community.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be signing on behalf of the city on the April the 9th down at Hamilton County with all the other communities. Hamilton County is doing this. I think Gulf Manor, Deer Park. I already said City of Cincinnati. So lots of different communities are coming together to sign that. So that's pretty cool. I think that's all the women's history stuff we have. And now we are going to talk about Pride Month, and I'm very excited to welcome our guest, Sam Bowling, newly elected. I'm not sure you're still newly elected, councilwoman. Was going to share a lot of thoughts and ideas about Pride for Norwood.
I know everyone here, but if people at home are like, why are you here talking about this? My name's Sam Bowling. I'm on city council, obviously. I am the first openly gay person to ever run for office in Norwood and to be elected to office. I also am the director of volunteer engagement on the board of directors for Cincinnati Pride, and it is my 6th or 7th year either on the committee or the board with them. So I plan Pride celebrations every year. Really big ones for like 200,000 people. That's not really what I think we're going to do here this year, but you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
We don't need to set our, goals too low. So a few years ago, I threw the first Pride celebration in Norwood. It was like very hodgepodge, last minute thrown together. And we did a walk on Wasson Way. It went very well, and then there was a flag raising celebration last year that Alexis, I believe, and you all,
The
was that
DEI.
everybody? Okay. Which was great. I would love to see us kind of scale up slightly on our acknowledgement of Pride Month and celebration. So I have a couple ideas of things that we could potentially do, and they all have like different asks and different levels of commitment. So it's really just based on what you all feel is doable, what we have the resources for. I am happy to help with absolutely any part of organizing. I essentially do programming for a living, so I'm very comfortable planning events. So a few options of what we could do. We could grow off of last year's flag raising, so we could keep that kind of same concept and just flesh it out a little bit more. This is probably going to be like the lowest ask, the least amount of legwork from everybody. What that could look like is doing the flag raising ceremony maybe a little bit more planned than last year, because last year we did not have like the equipment we needed to hang the flag, and everyone was very ready to improvise, which was great. And then we could do a reception afterwards, which could either take place where the flags are in our little kind of picnic-y area. What is that called? Isn't there a name for that? I do think it has a title. It's something park. It has a name, at any rate. The little place where the flags are next door.
Okay.
And we could have that either be like a potluck or grill out afterwards. We could have a performer or two come, but some sort of social aspect afterwards would be really nice. So that's probably going to be our like lowest lift. We also I talked with Alexis a little bit, and she mentioned potentially doing a Pride market. I would love to see that happen. If that were the goal, and really for any of these events, I think early June would be beneficial, because late June, especially in the greater Cincinnati area, is like very jam-packed full of Pride events. And we are it's a great problem to have, but all of the different events are kind of fighting with each other for like the same group of entertainers and vendors and that sort of thing. Cincinnati Pride Parade and Festival is June 22nd this year, so I would avoid that like the plague. Not avoid going, you should go. Avoid that date for us.
June.
June 22nd. So early June, I think, would be beneficial. And then, that puts it in people's minds early in the month so they can make best use of the whole month. So for a market, we could either work with Off Pike. I know we have to have a nonprofit apply for that permit to use the street space if we wanted to do it on mills where markets typically are. Yeah. Heritage Park. How nice. Okay, well, now we know. Okay, Flag Park. We could either work with Off Pike, or I am certain that Cincinnati Pride would be willing to take out an event permit if we needed a nonprofit to do that with us. If we could do it on Mills or in Victory Park, I think those would both be great central locations. My wife suggested doing like a social event at a bar, and while I don't mind that as a standalone event, I would really encourage this event to be all ages and in what at least could have the potential of being a sober space. I think that's important for accessibility reasons. If we did a market, I would love to prioritize LGBTQIA vendors. We have quite a few in Norwood, but definitely a ton in greater Cincinnati. And regardless of what we do, I would love to incorporate some sort of give back portion. So there are a ton of different nonprofits that we could support. Locally, Transform is probably my favorite. Not to choose favorites, but they're fantastic. And if you're not familiar, Transform provides a free clothing exchange, essentially a wardrobe that is for trans youth up to like 24 years old to come in and get a free gender-affirming wardrobe. There's also Caracol, which supports people who are HIV positive in the greater Cincinnati area. Glisten has a really big presence locally. And then if we wanted to kind of scale up, we could always look at like the Trevor Project or some other national organizations who are fantastic to support that make good, big community impact. We could do a throwback to our OG Pride event and do a Wasson Way walk. That went over really well. It torrentially rained the whole time. We still had like 200 people show up. I would love for it to not rain if we did that again. But part of that was like chalking messages of love and acceptance all over for the people who came next to see. And that had a great response. So that could be a portion. We could also incorporate like a slow roll if people wanted to do bikes with that too. That'd be fun. People could decorate their bikes. The biggest idea, this is the most legwork. This is the biggest ask. This would require the most from the city. And what I would love for us to see this happen at some point anyway, we could paint a crosswalk. Lots of other cities near us have done this.
I'll paint a crosswalk.
It is a huge ask from the city.
pull me
It
up.
is a huge ask to get permission to do it, not necessarily a ton of labor on our parts. We could incorporate the art board in that.
I was just having a conversation with another community member about painting crosswalks.
I think it would be a great traffic calming measure. And the one on Mills is so beautiful and has done it's held up really well. And I love that it's there. And I would love to see it in a high traffic area. If we could do that somewhere either just off of or on Montgomery Road would be really incredible. Now I do know that also we have to consider
It's also going to be about to.
what we're repaving soon. I will say in every city around here who has a Pride crosswalk, it does require like somewhat regular upkeep. So we do need to consider that as well. Not super expensive to upkeep it, but it is something that like annually or biannually, they do have to get repainted and touched up. There also is more potential for vandalism on something like that. So just be aware of that. But I do think that could be a really great and kind of lasting idea. One last idea, and this is also just maybe the most expensive. I would love, and we could do a fundraiser leading up to this to support it, or look into maybe finding a grant somewhere. But I would love to have a either low cost or no cost Pride flag or Pride sign pickup in the month of June, so that if folks wanted to hang a Pride flag outside of their house, they could just come get one and do it. They're super inexpensive to buy in bulk. It comes out to like $5 a flag usually, so not super wild. But I would love to kind of sprinkle a little pride all throughout the city during June and make people feel really welcoming. As like an openly queer resident in Norwood, when I moved here, there were no pride flags anywhere near our house. And my wife was very wary of putting one out because of that. And in the couple years since we moved here, there have been lots near us that have popped up, and it's been really nice to see and very affirming. So I don't know. Are we allowed to discuss? This isn't a real.
Yes.
Not that this isn't a real. It's a very real meeting, but
It doesn't feel real because there's not a lot of people here, but there's a lot of people here. Potentially a lot of people here. I love paint a crosswalk. That obviously space says that.
yeah.
I was not involved in this, but I wasn't involved in the planning, but I've been involved in them in other municipalities, and maybe that's why I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be. Maybe we pushed back on them to really do all the logistics, and once we gave them the permit. I'm happy to support that, help it out. I think it would be cool if every ward could have a crosswalk, especially if it's not the state route. So
Yeah.
we could do, I don't know what the rules are on a state route. I would imagine that's probably a little.
I think there's probably some more legality around that than
Yeah,
we
but,
can
like,
maybe bite off.
Fenwick and Quatman would be cool.
Maybe on the way over to Marsh Park would be a lovely place.
Yeah, anybody.
Near any
so-
of the parks would be really nice.
There you go. Yep, that seems cool. Of course, the flag raising would be great and easy. The most complicated one to me sounds like the market, just logistically, but I don't have any problem with it at all.
And I will say, if the market is what everybody's leaning towards, I have organized many, many markets, and I'm happy to lead the way with that. I have enough connections to vendors that it's not as much logistic nightmare as it seems it may be.
Easy peasy. And then the Wasson Way walk is cool too. And I guess we're a little far from the entrance, but maybe we could raise the flag on whatever Friday or Thursday and walk on Saturday or something like that, and kind of do a twofer or whatever. So
We could walk from the flag raising to Victory Park.
we could do that.
Yeah.
What about not trying to be like, crazy or anything, but like I think that and it doesn't have to be this June either. It could be like we
We're
start
doing it
one
this June.
now. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is if I want, like, for example, I think that the market sounds great. I think the flag raising has to happen. That's my personal opinion. And then the walk is also great, and painting everything is also, or painting something is also great. But
Everything.
can we do all of these things in one June? I don't know. But if let's say we do half of that, and then the following June, now we're prepared for the market, the flag raising, the walk. Now we have the side or the crosswalk painting or something like that, because I like all of these options.
Yeah, we said, like, we don't have to say, oh, no, we're never doing that to any of these.
No, just
And in my ideal world, I'd say every week of June, we're doing a thing, but that is a big ask. That is logistically a lot.
Let's start with the easy ones. We know we want to do the flag raising. We've done that the last year was the first year?
I think so. I know.
Proclamation
Yeah.
and the flag raising. Does that go hand in hand, or do we need to, like we do?
The proclamation, did I send that over to you?
No.
I think the proclamation came from a previous council member, Eric Thompson.
Eric is who wrote the proclamation last
Yeah.
time.
Did we read it during the flag raising, or was
It was
It was
read.
read, but it had already been
Okay, so we
voted
just-
on in council. And then I don't even think Eric's who read it. Maybe, I think Alexis read it.
read it?
So we can just
So
copy
the
and paste
fir-
that? We don't have
Yeah,
to-
we
oh,
can.
great.
And I do like to look at it every year to make sure that it still kind of resonates,
Yeah.
make sure it is still fresh. And so the first day of June is on a Saturday. Would we want to do it the first day of June?
I am a big
Or would we
fan.
want to do it on that Monday?
I am a big fan of like first day of the month kickoff. And June a Saturday seems really fantastic.
I say we just go ahead and plan that, to do the flag raising
And I think what's
on
really
that Saturday.
I think a doable option could be a flag raising here with a proclamation reading, and then everyone heads over to Victory Park and we can have like a market/reception kind of rocking and rolling over there.
I think that's great.
Is there a,
Aspect in it?
is the off-pike market meeting that day, do we know?
Let me check their website. Usually I don't think they're the first weekend.
Because we would need to have the resolution passed by the May 14th meeting.
June 15th, so no.
14 meeting. Do you think it would be best to connect it to off-pike market?
I think that's up to
Or-
them. If they want to call it like an off-pike market Pride edition or something like that, I think if they're going to be willing to let us use their permit,
Yeah, okay.
then
Otherwise, you would have it just be just a Pride market on
Norwood
that.
Pride Market. That just seems like the most reasonable location.
I
There's
agree.
nothing saying we have to do it there,
Yeah, I
but
think that would be a good spot.
So just for clarification,
Mm-hmm.
the off pike is going to be at Victory on the 15th. Is that what you're saying?
They're on Mills.
Okay.
we were just checking that they were not already planning to do a market on the 1st,
Okay, got it.
and they are not.
Okay.
Additionally, we could certainly have drag entertainers, or we could have like an LGBTQ singer or some sort of like little acoustic thing. What are our feelings on that?
I think it comes down to price for me, which is sad, because we don't have any money. So,
It would be out of the goodness of everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say price, willingness, maybe they just like us just
That's,
enough.
I think that's why we were like cool to do the flag raising last
Sure.
year, because we all just contributed like our own money to buy tattoos or like fans or.
So there is a kind of an alternative direction we could take with this. If you have ever been to the Pride edition of Second Sunday on Main, they do something called drag races, and it is normal people like from the audience who sign up to do it, and they have to like run to a bucket, put themselves in drag, and then run back, and they have to have like a heel, a wig, a top and a bottom on. And people have like water guns and try to like spray them, and
That's fun.
it's very fun and very silly and still like in the spirit of drag, but as a little, we wouldn't have to pay anyone.
Okay.
And it just depends. I want to make sure that everyone feels, I know that drag can be a touchy subject. And so I just want to make sure that everybody feels that this is like as accessible and as welcoming as possible. And I certainly can connect us with some drag performers who do like all ages, kid-friendly performances. We would probably need to have a little bit of money because we should pay people for their art. Now, I'm not saying we need to have like $300. We could probably get someone to perform for like $50 or $75. So whatever we think.
That is sad because then it's kind of puts a kibosh on all the fun ideas. What about the crosswalk deal? That would be an ask of funding from the city.
No, that would be, I am already toes deep. Feels like
That seems
adequate.
not
Like
very
2
deep, that's
emails
good.
deep,
Okay, fair.
you know?
Ankle deep.
Right, ankle deep. So I want to get more information on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a phenomenal idea. But yeah,
I said, like, maybe aside from the permit, it's like somebody buys the paint, somebody buys the brushes, somebody, you know. Like,
yeah. And I
takes
know
it out.
that, and it didn't go through the art board, but when the school did the one on Mills. I think that was but I think it was a community member. I don't think it was part of.
I'm not sure who paid for the materials or anything, but I know Virginia is who kind of like headed up that project.
But it was not part of the art board, is my understanding. She
Okay.
did that on her.
I would think, yeah, getting that permitted and finding locations or one location to start. And maybe that's a thing where like we pick one ward, do it in one ward one year, and then each year we add another ward. So like next year we can do a second one.
Another question is who would do the art?
I would say we would keep it simple and do like rainbow stripes or a pride flag or something of that nature.
Okay.
If we do rainbow stripes, I would just request that we incorporate black, brown, and the trans flag colors so that it is the most
updated.
inclusive and most updated pride flag. I have seen some cities that just do the initial like 6 colors, and I don't love that. But I don't think we need to get, I mean, I would love to commission an LGBTQ artist
and
to
then-
design something.
yeah.
That would be awesome. I really don't think we have the money for that.
Maybe we could even incorporate the chalking, like you talked about with Wasson Way, and like when the families come out to help paint, then the kids can do the chalk or write whatever they want.
I wish that there was
another.
I wish that there was like another crosswalk on that block of Mills. Like I wish there was a crosswalk on the other end of the block. Because how fun would it be for that block to have like, or just all of Mills to be like fun, painted, the art walk. But yeah, there is not another crosswalk right there, unfortunately.
Well, let's get.
I will have information certainly before the next meeting.
Okay.
And I can just email y'all. And then
And if we want to go ahead with the market and getting everything rocking and rolling, all we need to do for the flag, we have a flag.
I believe we should have it.
Have the one from last year.
I can, since Alexis is,
If not, I will happily
sipping
donate a
sangria,
flag.
I hope.
Rude.
I know, right? No.
I should have told you exactly what you
Good wishes for her, good wishes.
Isn't she in like Italy?
I think so.
Well, I mean,
She's currently in Atlanta, but
maybe not yet because she left this morning.
Might have
But
sangria at the airport.
I love Atlanta. My baby lives in Atlanta. I love Atlanta. So I can take care, I will send everyone the Pride resolution, just to take a look at it, including you. We'll have that ready for the May 14th meeting. And then we can just do it, declare an emergency, have all 3 readings, and then confirm the flag raising. We do need to have, we were so lucky to have our Scoutmaster. Is he a Scoutmaster? No, he's an Eagle Scout. Eagle Scout. Who is able to do that. So we would need to have someone who knows what they're doing. So I can find out about that too.
okay.
And
In the
then-
meantime, I'm happy to reach out to Off Pike Market about permitting and start chatting with some vendors. The biggest piece that we need to answer before we start chatting with vendors is a time period.
So if we're going to do it on
We are not doing it on April anything.
no, June 1st, Saturday. I'm awful with picking times for things because I always think noon. I default till noon on Saturday, and I don't think
If
most
it's
people do that.
Gonna be as hot as it was last year, perhaps
Oh, it was
10
hot.
a.m. But
10
also,
and
if
then
we want to
market.
walk to like the cidery or something, probably doesn't open like at 10 a.m.
They open at noon.
Noon, okay, or like 11, and then we walk over there at noon, or the market starts at noon or whatever.
Now, if we need the cidery, if we wanted to start it at 11 and we wanted to have like a cider garden or something, they'll open early.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know if I can drink that much. So it's, don't depend on just one person for the income that day, but we'll make
Or
it
they
work.
can open at noon and that's fine too. So maybe we do the flag raising at 10, market goes from 11 to 3 or 11 to 2 or,
I'd even say like 10, because the flag raising takes 10 minutes.
you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe the
so-
market starts at 10 as well.
Yeah.
And we'll just wander over there afterwards. So maybe we do 10 to 2 for the market and we can have, I would love to see like some decoration along Mills or in the park. What do we feel about entertainment? Would we like to lean towards something more free, like drag races?
Yeah,
or
we are but poor, so we will need some gratis entertainment.
And I can certainly reach out to a few entertainers and see if there's anyone who is willing to do it out of the goodness of their heart and for some tip dollars.
Sure, we could do.
I'm also thinking it might be lovely to have it be more just music, like music playing.
Sure.
Like a Spotify playlist.
Like a
Music.
Spotify playlist. Sometimes my day lists are really good, and sometimes
I think they have,
I think AI's just awful.
Yeah.
It just really, really wants me to be a Swiftie. And I don't have a problem with Taylor. She's just not my girl,
Exactly.
you know?
She's not my cup of tea.
And it
You
puts her on
go.
every day list. It'll be like mountain music, acoustic Americana, and it'll be like all
Americana.
that.
You can't say
You can
Americana.
block her because I blocked Taylor Swift.
Maybe I need to do that.
And
I don't have a
country
problem
music
with her, I
except
just
for Chris
don't-
Stapleton, who's gonna be my next husband.
Okay, so I will reach out to Off Pike Market. I will put a call out for entertainers, and if we can find anyone who just really feels benevolent, like they'd love to give us their time and talent, then fantastic. And if not, could we do?
Sorry, Amber Ballard. We should reach out to her. She is on school board.
Okay.
She often does she does amazing face painting.
My next question was going to be some sort of activity, arts and
Amazing
crafts.
face painting, yeah. We could ask the art board. The art board did a really lovely thing for the Hispanic Heritage Festival of making interactive, a interactive thing for kids. And when we did at this, where did we do? Because after the flag raising last year, we just had a little reception at the cidery.
We did.
And I had those little cookies that you could frost.
You
with
did,
the-
and those were very
Aren't
cute.
those so cute? They're from Target.
We could
Little pride cookies.
also, I don't know if anybody wants to, if there's interest in this. I have previously for Pride events rented out, and by rented out, I mean just said, can I borrow these? And they say yes, and then no one signs them out or anything, which is kind of wild. The button makers from the main library, and they just let me take them, and then I set them up in the teen zone at Pride and let kids make their own buttons, which was really fun. So that's a potential. Now, we would have to pay for the materials, but the materials
Are not
they're
expensive.
10 cents a piece. They're like fairly
The library.
inexpensive.
Catherine with the library is phenomenal.
Do they have a makerspace at the Norwood Library at all?
Not at the Norwood Library.
Okay.
But Catherine, I'm sure, would do something.
I have the director of the makerspace's contact somewhere. But at any rate, that I would love to see some kind of like activity for kids or something. And I'd love to have like bubbles and
Oh,
chalk.
bubble.
I love a bubble.
I've got bubbles. I've got my bubble machine.
Bring every bubble machine. I have a bubble machine. I want 100 bubble machines. I want you to not be able to see each other for the
Here's-
bubbles.
I'm a fan of that.
And now I'm just sort of brainstorming.
That's what we're here for.
Because there's also the Norwood Day Parade. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of the country this year. I totally flaked. But what if we did like, and I say we because I won't be here, we did like a Norwood DEI
Float.
float group, and you guys could use my bubbles and we could make a banner and, I don't know.
What is
Just a thought.
Is that in July?
It's
Yes.
in June, oh, no, it is July.
July, I thought, yeah.
It's July,
25th.
Something like that.
What's the plan for that anyway this year?
so
the parade is
parade's the
still
same
happening.
thing, and they're looking at doing the Norwood Day, which was traditionally at County, doing it at Victory Park.
Got it.
And that's being run by the Norwood Women's Business Association.
I'm not opposed to that. Let's get some more details about the Pride first, and then we can see. Also,
I thought it was the different month, so that's what I thought it.
but if it were
Yeah.
June, that would make a lot of sense. I appreciate it. I do think it would be fun to have a presence in the Norwood Day Parade.
I don't think the art board does either. We should get the tree board, and they could have
We could just have a big
like a
Norwood board.
a wagon, yeah, wagon with trees and.
Yeah. That would be lovely.
Put that on your to-do list, Susan.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. Focus. Focus.
Alexis was able to commission, I believe, at no cost, Audrey.
She moved to
She
Chicago.
moved, I know. But come on, that's not the only person that Alexis knows that
No.
is in that
But the-
crowd.
I know
That's her
essentially 78% of the drag performers in the
And I'm not
tri-state.
sure, I don't know that money was exchanged, but she did take photos with the kids and the people.
I
was
will do my
excited.
very best to get a drag performer, if not even to come perform, at least to like come and take photos and
Like, yes.
say
wave to the
hello.
crowd.
And,
Yeah.
Yes, I will do my very best
Okay.
to source.
Whatever other planning you're doing, prioritize that. But it was very exciting. She did have
Aubrey's
to sit in the car so that
fantastic.
she would not melt
Yes,
before. the-
Yeah.
but she did a great job.
super
She
hot.
just
She
did
was
unfortunately move to Chicago, where
Yes.
she's thriving and doing very well. Good for her.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
whatever.
good. That was very exciting. Okay, so we landed on, let's plan for Saturday, June 1st, at least the flag raising and proclamation at Heritage Park, which we now know is the area where the flags are, next to City Hall,
And that will be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And then we, as in Sam, will plan a market
Yes,
at Victory or on Mills.
on Mills, and
we'll
we can
figure it
have the Victory Park activated for the activities and
Face painting, bubbles, my flag, which I still haven't, or my fan, which I still haven't put away because I like to mess with the cats with it.
that's how I dry my setting spray on my makeup.
But, oh, okay, very good. Yeah, many faceted uses there. Perhaps a drag performer, button making, that would be free, $99. Drag races for fun, for free. Need money to pay. Okay, and yeah, that's what we've got right now.
Question about the give back portion. Where could we fit that in? Would that be like a cup at the market? Would it be a?
We could have like QR codes out for folks to donate. Since we aren't charging a vendor fee, we could ask for vendors to donate like 1% of their sales. We could do some sort of entry fee for drag races and all, like it's $5 to participate and all of that money goes to whomever. There's a couple different things we could do.
Are these organizations that might use volunteers? Because we could add them to our like volunteer list, which I either saw you repost the other day, or did it?
I
come-
just worked on one and posted. Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, that was cool. So I wasn't sure. I don't think I was aware that is always available.
I just made it.
Oh, great. Well, and then maybe we could just add those folks if there are volunteer opportunities with those organizations. We could add them to our list of.
Transform would probably use the most volunteers. Caracol's pretty thoroughly staffed. Transform's fairly small.
Okay.
They, I think, need the most help doing sorting. All of their clothes are primarily donation based. So someone has to sort through all the donations and find like, yes, a 16-year-old would wear this, or they absolutely would not.
not
Let's
gonna be
donate
good
that
at
to someone
that,
else.
My 16-year-old self might wear them. Okay, well, if that's an option for any of them, then we can add them to that
Yeah.
list. Would that be cool?
I think. Well, except those are just Norwood businesses.
Oh, right. We'll figure something out. The QR code thing is cool, and 1% of vendor sales and stuff like that.
I love that idea.
But I think we're all in agreement that would be fine to incorporate. And then Susan, keep going with the crosswalk painting.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting.
Okay. It's like a little bit of celebration and like
Traffic calming.
social, just kind of breaking the rules, but not breaking the rules. Like we're gonna, it's like
I
all
see them,
encompassed.
I see them a lot,
I think they're great.
in most urban communities where there's a lot going on. I seem to see them.
I'm not sure if it's still there, but Covington has one near Rosie's Bar.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's just always so bright. Somebody keeps it up, obviously. It's not super busy back there, but
Cincinnati's is on Vine. It's on
Yeah.
12th and Vine, right outside of Micah.
they're just recognizable and so cool.
Great.
Thank
Okay.
you.
We have action items.
We appreciate that. Yeah, very good. Very good. Thank you for your public comment, you public person that we don't know. Okay. Could that be
Are we good?
everything? Good?
We are on
6:40.
it. Of course, now we have to go do all the things that we said we're going to do. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Susan, are you concluding the meeting at 6:40 PM?
I'm nervous to say so, but yes.
Okay,
We will
all right,
be
here we
concluding the
go.
meeting. Thank you all. See you next month.
Thank you.